If you're building your web page using WordPress, apart from the widgets, themes, plugins is something that you're definitely going to be working with. There are a couple of other platforms for web-based programming which also use plugins, but WordPress has become really popular, and one of the reasons why it's so popular are actually the plugins. Now, from the back side menu you can find plugins just below the appearance, and when you hover over the plugins you'll get install plugins, add new, and the editor. Okay, so if you click on the plugins, it will bring the main page for the plugins, which is something that we already used to when it comes to WordPress, where all the plugins will be displayed in a list manner. So let's have a look what's here. First of all, we can see that this is all, meaning all plugins are to be displayed here, and this is something that's currently active, and then you have inactive link here as well. Going a bit more down, you'll actually come to the plugins. So this is a plugin and there is the name and some description about this particular plugin. Also, you have three links. One is to activate, one is to edit, and the last one is to delete this particular plugin. You'll also get the version, so this is version 3.0.4, who has made this particular plugin, and you can hit on more details or view details and actually have a look at more details about this particular plugin. Also have another plugin here which is called a Hello Dolly plugin, and those two plugins actually come by default when you actually install WordPress 4. Also, you can select all of them and you can bulk actions. So you would select a bulk action from the drop down menu, for example activate, and you would hit on apply. When you actually do that, both of these widgets will actually be activated, but I do not want to do that, so I'll unclick it. Okay. Moving to the right, you'll find the search bar here, and basically you can type in the widget you are searching for. In a case you have many different plugins, you can just search for that particular plugin by actually typing that name here. You can also set how many plugins are displayed per page, and to do that you'll have to go to the screen options, and here you can actually set the maximum number of the plugins which you would like to display. Also, you can select or deselect the description, but I would strongly suggest you leave the description, especially when it comes to higher numbers of plugins displayed there, because sometimes you will not remember the plugin just by its name, but when you actually read the description you will actually find out what that particular plugin is doing. Okay, so once all that is done, you can hit on apply. And now what we'll do is actually we will add a new plugin. Now to do that, right at the top there is the add new button. If we click on the add new button, a new page will open up with all of the plugins displayed. Basically at this page it's only displaying the featured plugins, which in this case are only I think 5, okay? And then you can actually go and switch to popular. And the last option here is favorites, should you have any favorite plugins. At the moment I do not have those, and I will not actually be going into that particular option. Okay, right at the top you have the upload plugin. So basically if you are a programmer and you have actually created a plugin on your own, you can use this option here, this button, to actually upload that particular plugin. Also, if you have downloaded the plugin from somewhere else, you can use this upload plugin button here to actually upload that particular plugin to your web page, and then you can activate it as well. Okay, so let's look at one of the particular plugins. This is also new to WordPress 4. You can see that display here is in grids, so this is a grid style display. Also you have a number of total items and number of pages. Okay, moving to a single particular plugin. First of all, you will get a link and a name here, then you get some description about this particular plugin. You will get a information about who's actually made this plugin, and you get either the install button here, which has been grayed out, or install now, like in this case here. So this particular plugin has been installed onto my WordPress, and therefore it's been grayed out and it said installed. And also there is the more details button. Just down below, this is the feedback from the users. So for this particular plugin, we can see that it's been downloaded more than 26 million times, and the average mark here is 4. So as you can see, when you hover over the actual stars, you can see that 4.0 rating based on 1266 ratings, which actually means that out of more than 26 million downloads, 1266 people have actually submitted their votes, and they think that this particular plugin deserves 4 out of 5 stars. Okay, so when you have time, you can go through a list of all of these different plugins, and you can read and see what they actually do and how you can actually go about implementing them into your web page and actually downloading and everything else. Okay, but for this particular video, what I will do is I will use the search box here, and I'm going to search for a plugin, something to do with the Facebook. I typed in Facebook and I hit enter key, and now I will get all the plugins available for the Facebook. So they all have to do something with a Facebook. Alright, so I can see that currently there is a bit more than 2000 plugins for the Facebook, and there's actually 68 pages. Alright, so just like before, we'll get the name of the particular plugin, we'll get some description, we'll get who is developed by, so in this case that's Facebook, we'll get the ratings, the number of downloads, the last time this particular plugin was updated, and this was actually 9 months ago, and whether or not this has actually been tested with the current version of the WordPress. In this case, for this particular plugin, as you can see, this has not been tested with my version of the WordPress. Nevertheless, I have the install now button, which I can click and the installation process will start straight after this, or I can hit on more details. I strongly suggest each time you actually go and install any of the plugins, you actually come here and you hit on more details, and a pop-up window will show like this, where you can actually see quite a lot of information about this particular plugin. First of all, once again, we can see that this plugin has not been tested with my current version of the WordPress. There's gonna be a bit more on this particular plugin, so more details about it and how to, and some features and a few other things. Also, you'll find very useful information in the installation section, so this is something that you must check before you actually go and download and install the actual plugin. This will give you information how to go about installing this particular plugin. Then you can hit on screenshots and you can see what this particular plugin looks like. You can have a look at the changes, all the updates, or the actual change log. You can have a look at the frequently asked questions, other notes, and of course the reviews. So this is where the people will write something about this particular plugin, people who have actually used this plugin, and give it a rating out of 5. Here you'll find information such as versions, so this particular plugin version is 1.5.5, the author is Facebook, when it was last updated, and a few other information as well. Alright, so what I will do now, even this has a very poor rating, I will install this plugin. So to do that, I'll hit on install now button, and this will now take me through the process of installing this particular plugin. Alright, so I can see that the package has actually been downloaded, it's been unpacked or unzipped, and then it was installing, and at the end I'll get a message, successfully installed plugin Facebook 1.5.5. Then I get the two links. The first one is to activate the plugin, and the other one is to actually return to the plugin installer. Alright, what I will do, I'll go to install plugins, and here I'll find my new plugin Facebook. Also, I can see that it's been added to the inactive section of my plugins. Okay, so what I will do now is I'll just hit on this button here, activate, and now this particular plugin will be activated, and I can see that by this message here, it says plugin activated. Alright, the other options I have here are to deactivate, to edit, and I can actually go into settings. Also, if you have a look at here, now we have one active plugin, and let's go and see which one that is. And of course, it's actually the Facebook plugin, and I have the available options here as I did before. Okay, so now I can say that my particular plugin has been installed. So let's go ahead and see what we can do and how we can actually use that on our web page. If you have a look at the main menu, you will notice that now we have a new link here, which is actually Facebook. Here we have general, like button, send button, follow button. Alright, let's hit on Facebook. And here, if you're actually developer with the Facebook, you can enter your information here and you can save the changes, and basically this will give you a few other options. But for now, the most important thing is, let's have a look at the like button. So this is the button that people, when they read your particular post, will say, okay, I like this, and they will click on the like button. The process will actually take them through logging into their Facebook account, and you will get their like. Okay, the first option here, and actually you can read a bit more about this right here. So you click on read more, and that will actually give you a few more information about this particular plugin and how it works. So the first option is here. Where do you want to show this? I want to show it everywhere. So wherever there is a new post, I want people, maybe not on the attachment, I want people to be able to actually like my post. Position, before and after the post, before the post or after the post. Well, I think before the post, because I'm thinking of people who are viewing my page or particular post for the very first time, and if my post has got a lot of likes, it's more likely that people will read it, and this is something that's gonna catch their actually eyes when they're viewing. So I'll leave it as before the post. Include the share button alongside, most definitely. Layout, there's 3 available options. I'll leave it as a standard. Show faces, yes. Width, you can set the width of the button, and you can either go with the like or recommend. I'll leave it as like. Font, let's go with Arial, and color, I'll go with light, and I'll hit on save changes. Okay, I'll get a message that my settings have been changed. I'll go to send button, and I'll do exactly the same. I'll go home, everything except for the attachments. I'll say before the post, Arial, save changes. And the last option is, of course, the follow button, and I would like my follow button to be displayed everywhere. Before the post, I'll leave it as it is. I'll show faces, I'll select the font as Arial, and I will save changes as well. So basically we have activated now the like button, send button, and follow button. Okay, so this is all you have to do in order to actually activate the like, share, and follow button for this particular plugin. And if I go back to my homepage, to the front end, I can see now that I have the send, like, and share button. And if I was to click on any of those, for example, I can hit on like, I will confirm it, and it will actually ask me now to sign in and everything else, and I'll do that. I'll actually go and hit on like, and you can see that now this is displayed here as I'm the one who actually likes this particular post. Okay, so this has basically been a very straightforward demonstration on how you can add some of the plugins to your web page, how you would go about installation, and how you would actually go about setting up everything else. Okay, the last thing I would like to do here is actually go back to the plugins, and I will actually first of all go and deactivate my Facebook plugin, and after I have actually deactivated, I will go and delete this particular plugin. Then it will ask me whether or not I would like to save the file data. I will go no, and I will delete everything, and you will see that that particular option on my main menu will now disappear, as I do not have this particular plugin anymore. Going back to my front tab of the page, when I refresh it, all of these buttons should actually disappear now. Okay, so that's how you will go about actually installing a new plugin onto your web page using WordPress